say that I look pretty in my fitted red flight suit. They say I am a rock star, but the point is probably moot. 'Cause I'm sick of all the bullshit that kills the joy of flight. Most of all, I'm sick and fucking tired of looking right. I'm looking right, I'm always looking right. When I'm flying fucking fingertip, I'm always looking right. The crowd goes wild, the formation's tight, but I don't give a shit, 'cause I'm just looking right. For the other guys, they'll never know how hard it is to be flying this formation as number 2 or 3. 'Cause one's always lost, 6 is always late, 4 he is a pussy, 'cause he's just looking straight. I'm looking right, I'm always looking right. When I'm flying fucking fingertip, I'm always looking right. The crowd goes wild, the formation's tight, but I don't give a shit, 'cause I'm just looking right. On the road and the wife starts to pout when the nights that I come home and she's ready to put out. One day she finally asked me, am I such an awful sight? I said no, but I can do it unless I'm looking right. I'm looking right, I'm always looking right. When I'm flying fucking fingertip, I'm always looking right. The crowd goes wild, the formation's tight, but I don't give a shit, 'cause I'm just looking right. Yeah, fuck 'em all, I don't care, I'm just looking right.
That amazing song you just heard is from Dos Gringos, a band that inspired me as a young pilot and fighter pilot and so many others. They're back live this June 7th in Denver, Colorado, supporting the Wings over the Rockies Air and Space Museum in their effort to bring an F-16 up from Shepherd Air Force Base up to the museum and showcase it to thousands of visitors each and every year, carrying on that legacy, that history, and that tradition, which I think is just an awesome cause. If you're interested in their music, I got that link down below. If you're interested in going and attending, you can buy tickets. Again, link down below, and just check them out. Great cause. I have Whacker joining me today to talk a little bit more about that specific cause and what they're doing with that. So let's jump into it with Whacker. Hey, Whacker. Thanks for joining me here. I'm glad to be able to finally connect with you, man. We've been following each other for quite a while. We were just joking about beforehand, too. A lot of parallels between us. Today, we're going to talk a little about something that's near and dear to your heart, but I think a pretty epic event coming up. If anyone who is a fighter pilot or wants to be a fighter pilot or likes the fighter pilot just culture, anything tied to it, it's in the works. But then also follow back up with you, hopefully soon at a later date, kind of dig into your path, your career, what you're doing, and everything in between. But thanks for joining me.
Yeah, Rain, I appreciate it. I've been an admirer of yours, and it's a privilege to get on here and share something I'm pretty passionate about. So if you want, I'll jump right into to what we're putting together.
Yeah, I know you're out there on the road, working hard, making things happen, teaching people to fly big jets, a little bit different than the previous. But yeah, why don't you dig in? Actually, just give me like a real quick snapshot of who you are,
Sure.
right? And then jump into what you got in the works right now.
Sure. So you are common ground. I was an F-16 pilot for roughly 25 years. All of my time was in the Air National Guard. Started out in San Antonio and ended up at Buckley in my home state of Colorado, and was super privileged to get to do that for a long time. And as a guardsman, timing is everything. I got to deploy a bunch to Iraq, and at the same time was building seniority at Delta. And so ended up as a dual career at 2 great jobs, sometimes felt like 2 full-time jobs. But as much as I enjoyed every second of flying that airplane, by far my favorite part about being a fighter pilot was the culture, the camaraderie, and the times and the memories deployed and otherwise, but primarily deployed, with the Bubbas. And a huge part of that is this kind of thing around song, which, the history is interesting. I got into flying fighters in the early 90s, and there was still, Dick Jonas and some Vietnam era guys. And I have an opportunity to speak a lot now at Memorial Day events, Veteran Day events, and I always kind of take a moment to acknowledge that, our generation serves a grateful nation. And no matter how hard the politicians, try to divide things and all the craziness going on in the world, like people are like, hey, thanks for your service. And, I always have to say, I go, hey, man, they paid us to fly jets. Come on.
Right.
But at the same time, there was a time where our nation was less grateful. And also, you and I, when we landed from a combat mission, it wasn't like, hey, 2 and 3 aren't with us anymore. How are we going to get our shit together so that we can go on that same milk run tomorrow, taking SAMs and flak? And so a big way those guys coped with it was, a little bit of whiskey and a lot of song and some male bonding. And that culture was a little fragile in the 90s. So enter these 2 characters at Cannon that were gifted with music and creativity and stuff like that. And they really revitalized song as a part of our culture. And what a fun time for those of us that got to hear them and listen to them in their prime. And then the funny thing that kind of happened is for about the past 10 to 15 years, they went on hiatus. Snooze kind of went on to other things, but Trip kept getting promoted, and of all places, right, to Shaw, where it was a little fragile to use colorful language. And so this is a little bit of a rebirth for these guys. And I think those of us that have listened to them, and you hit the nail on the head too, this is also going to be a great event for anybody that's like interested in military aviation. I follow some of your sponsors, and anybody that was ever pledging a Guardian or something and wanted to network with fighter pilots, this is going to be a great event. But the reason we're doing this, another thing near and dear to my heart, I've ended up on the board of directors for the Wings Over the Rockies Air and Space Museum. And their mission is really to take aviation's past, present, and future to inspire people of all ages. And the F-16, I know near and dear to both you and my heart, is a big part of Colorado. The Buckley Guard has flown it since '91. And even prior to the F-16, the Buckley Guard preceded the Thunderbirds as the first demonstration unit in the Air Force. They flew F-86s and F-80s as the Minutemen. And so we still have a waiver for some diamonds. I say we like I'm still there, right? It's been a long time. But so it's exciting for Buckley, the Air Force Academy. Denver and Colorado has a really rich aviation culture. And this is our chance. We're raising money to bring an F-16 static display from Shepherd Air Force Base, where it's no longer flying, to get it to Denver. And as simple as that sounds, it's a pretty costly operation. Peel the wings off, get it on a flatbed, and do all that stuff. So that's what the money's going toward, but it's going to be a great opportunity to raise money for that effort, as well as for, a bunch of fighter pilots to get together and really just be grateful for doing what we got to do and experiencing some of that fun camaraderie and culture that's such a big part of the reason we love doing it.
I love it. That's exciting. It'll be epic to have Dos Gringos back. So people who are interested in doing it, what do they need to know as far as where do they need to go? Can they get tickets still? If they just want to support it, what do they need?
We have a limited number of tickets because it's being hosted at FlyteCo Brewing Company, which is the old Stapleton Airport Tower.
That's
so
cool.
Prior to 1991, that was the Denver airport. So it's a fixed number of people that we can have there. We've sold about half of our tickets so far. We only have a dozen VIP tickets left.
Okay.
It's on June 7th in the afternoon from 5 to 8 p.m. Someone told me we probably should have done it from 6 to 9 p.m. I know. Easy, that would have been an easy
It's
target.
a different time.
But yeah. But we have a website put together. It's just dosgringosdenver.com. And so if people just search that and go to dosgringosdenver.com, or if they follow you or me or any form of my social media, I've been blasting it out there for a bit. And it's going to be a really, I think, a fun opportunity to raise money for something fun. And also one of the band members, Trip, he's he's a contractor out there. He didn't go for the easy airline money like you and me. He's actually earning a living, right? And but he started another business where he's launching a spirits company, Winglore Spirits, and they're really built around kind of that same culture too. So we're going to promote that and listen to some of the old favorites that we all know by heart, and hopefully really have a good time and raise money for a good cause.
Yeah, that's awesome. Whacker, thanks for sharing that again. I'll link that down below so anyone who's listening or watching, make it easy for them to click over and check out. Dos Gringos to support a good cause, so thank you for taking the time.
Awesome. Yeah, and then the folks that can't make it, I'd say they're on the promotion and donation team. There's a way you can just click to kind of throw a few bucks toward the effort. So folks that can't make it, do that. And I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to share this.
Yeah, absolutely. And have you back here soon, because you have quite a few stories to tell yourself. So I look forward to connecting and digging a little bit deeper there.
All right. Thanks, Rain. I appreciate you.
Yeah, likewise. Cheers.
All right. Cheers.
I was on my ACT upgrade, standard 4VX. The AWACS guy was out to lunch, so I couldn't get no decks. I knew that they were hostile, but I couldn't take a chance. So I flipped the switch to outboard and said, boys, it's time to dance. And he asked me, where you going? As I started to diverge, said I had enough of this shit, man, I'm going to the merge. Cause BBR is great, but now it's time to have some fun. So Dark Star Judy, I'm going in for guns. I was flying as a bandit doing dark gray wick support. I was out there by my lonesome cause my buddy was a mort. And I saw that big fat fucker in a turn off to my right. He was either lost or he was looking for a fight. So I put him in my hood and I almost flipped the switch. But then I thought, how could I miss? Cause that's a huge bitch. And only a big pussy would use the 2 Fox 1s. It's time to get medieval, I'm going in for guns. We were back in Iraq for the second set, killing every fucking thing that they parked in a revet. When I saw me close to 69 trucks parked in a row, and I knew I shouldn't do it, but I just could not say no. And I called up 20 Mike, and I rolled in for the fast. Knowing my commander, he was gonna chew my ass. But this issue's black and white, like a school bus full of nuns. Someone's gotta make the call, I'm going in for guns.
Good hit.
I'd been out for Mexican and my stomach was a knot from a greasy chimichanga and 2 tequila shots. And we had to step in 5 for my 1D ACT as I yelled over my shoulder, don't nobody wait for me. And I was running down the hall like I'd never run before. And I began to wonder if I'd make it to the door. Cause every second counts when your ass has got the runs. And I made the call,